Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. Happy Lunar New Year. This could be a timeless reading, although we are recording it around the time of the Lunar New Year for 2024. And this is the year of the Wood Dragon. So, this pick a card reading, my honeys, will be a blessing from your dragon ancestors. Now, first of all, let me just take a quick break here and say thank you. Oh my goodness. There are over 1,000 subscribers to my brand new channel. So I just want to thank you all. If you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I really love connecting with you in the comments. I really appreciate all your comments too. It's so encouraging for this brand new channel. So thank you so much. If you are new here and this is your very first reading with me, I'm Kamara. I'm a psychic medium. And I also, by profession, am a psychotherapist. So hopefully some of that kind of comes in with some of my readings. But for the most part, I am here to help the collective with whatever it is that our spirit guides, our ancestors, our cosmic ancestors would like for us to know. So that's mainly the focus of this brand new channel. So if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. If you resonate with your readings that we're going to start any second now, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I really do appreciate the continued support of growing this channel, because I would love to do live readings, live demonstrations, live guided imageries. So I would love to get more listening time, because I think that's all that I need to qualify to do some live sessions with you all. As a gift to everyone who has been supportive of this channel, I am going to attach a guided imagery to go along with this reading. So you can do it with me by listening to it, or you could take a listen later when you're getting ready to go to bed. Whatever time you want to do this guided imagery, it's going to be a special, we're going to take a journey to like meet up with your ancestors, your dragon ancestors, and get some personal messages for you, because these are all collective readings, right, you all? So we're doing this now for over 1,000 people. I have to say, you all are very powerful. All I could say is every time I do more readings, I'm tapping into the energy of the people who are following me, who are watching, and you all are really powerful. It's like, wow, when the cards come out, it's like these ancestors are talking loud and clear. So thank you all. Your support allows me to even increase the efficacy of these readings, and I just really am appreciative of that. So let's go back to the reading here. This is going to be a pick a card. You can choose your groups a couple of ways, and I make this an option all the time. You can look at the artwork that's at the beginning of this reading, and I have it timestamped below, and you can choose from group 1, 2, or 3 there. You can choose from group 1, 2, or 3 here, which I'm going to show you these cards up close. Or you can go down into the timestamps below, and some people like to use the numerology of the timestamps for the different groups. Whatever way that you choose, it's all accurate. It's all to include your own mastery of this psychic realm. So I'm here with you as your friend and guide, but you are also just as powerful as me when it comes to getting the information you need from the spirit world, from your future self, from all your ancestors and guides. So always remember that. And these are readings that are done collectively, so only take what resonates, you all. And if it doesn't resonate, it's just not for you. You could choose another group, you could choose another reading altogether, but I do love being connected to you. So back to our reading again. I feel like I'm going off on these tangents, but so let's go over quickly what we're going to cover here, you all. We're going to get the opening message, which is the actual blessing from your dragon ancestors. Then we're going to talk about the energy that you may be experiencing in this new lunar year, and then a message from your future self, because like I said, your future self is, I think, belongs with your spirit guides. And we could talk about that later on a whole nother reading, but your future self is very important to your growth, your evolution. Then we're going to tap into the sacred feminine cycles as well as the masculine energy cycle. And then we're going to talk about the year's astrology PowerPoint for you. Like, what is that? Then we're going to get a light language guidance from your guides. And then we're going to end with how to strengthen your magic this year. We're also going to do like a live tarot draw. So we'll draw some live tarot based on some of the messages that are coming forth. And then that will be your reading. I am going to include you all a guided imagery right after this for everyone, as well as a collective candle wax ritual. As you see right now, I have a little red candle. And Spirit directed me, it only had like a little small like nub on it. Spirit directed me to burn this candle as it goes out of the old year. That's old year energy, because this candle was kind of burnt in the old year. And we are going to have a brand new candle. We'll start a brand new candle for the new year. So this is a brand new gold candle that we'll be starting for the new year when we do the candle wax ritual. So I really am excited for this reading. And yeah, to no further ado, because I feel like I've been talking a lot, let's get to your groups. So group number 1, you have this card. It says expression. And the reading, what it says is, you are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. Expression for group number 1. Group number 2, virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. Oh, and group number 2, you got 2 cards. The other one is patience. You are able to let the universal energy of transformation move according to its own loving rhythm. So there's 2 cards for group number 2. And group number 3, you have kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you're able to share that energy with others. So take a moment right now, either tap into your own intuition, do the pile selection in any way that you would like, and then go down to the timestamps below for your reading. I'm so excited, you all. And again, thank you so much for being here. And let's get to your readings. Thanks so much. Oh, and after this, I am going to talk about the wood dragon. So if you want to know a little bit more about the wood dragon, that is also going to be a part of this reading right after this. And it'll be timestamped below if you want to come back to it. Okay, take care, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. So if you want to know a little bit more about the wood dragon, let's just talk a little bit about that energy. And this is based on the Chinese Lunar New Year. But I think there are other cultures that do Lunar Year, that recognize the lunar calendar. So that might be just something, if you're curious about it, for your research. But let's talk about the last time we had a wood dragon year. That was 1964, you all. And it was interesting because I know that the 60s had a lot going on. So when I went into the history of what was happening in 1964, just take a listen. John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and then Lyndon Johnson became the president. Lyndon Johnson is well known for signing the Civil Rights Act. That Civil Rights Act of 1964 ended segregation in public places. It banned employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin. I don't know if it was abilities yet, but that would be interesting to research. And it was considered one of the most crowning legislative achievements for the civil rights movement. 1964 was also a year that many people were experiencing poverty, inequity, and it was something that people were talking about. They were dialoguing about, even debating during 1964. In entertainment, the Beatles were introduced in 1964, and, people went wild. South Africa was excluded because of apartheid from the Olympic Games. In 1964, there was also a famous Freedom Summer Project, which was designed to draw the nation's attention to the violent oppression experienced by blacks in Mississippi, who attempted to exercise their constitutional rights and developed a grassroots freedom movement that would sustain student activism, I would say, well into now. Mainly a lot of activists are students. I mean, not everyone, but there's a strong student activism that has maintained itself since the 60s. This was also a year in 1964 that Lyndon Johnson sent troops to Vietnam. China successfully tested a nuclear bomb this year, skyrocketing the Cold War. And the 24th Amendment, which I think is important to know about, in the U.S. eliminated a poll tax. Poll taxes were instituted to create voter inequity. And then finally, the Gemini 1 launched into space. So the Wood Dragon years, if you are a wood dragon, you would have been born in, and I mean, you can do research for those years before this, but you would have been born in either 1952, 1964, 1976, 1988, 2000, or 2012. Or you were born this year. And you will experience, for those people who have a wood dragon year, and really just in general, if it's your animal year, you're going to experience some kind of life change during this year. It's going to depend on your natal chart, right? But there is something significant that's going to happen for people who are wood dragons this year, as well as the rest of us. Basically, the power move for everyone this year, you all, is to do a big turnaround, to allow for yourself to be highly creative, highly curious, to dive in and give it a try. People who are wood dragons, you're going to find that they're focused people. They put their ideas into practice. These are people who are diplomatic. They have a sense of humor, but they're also very perceptive when it comes to business and to ideas. They're very generous people, the wood dragons. They're self-confident. They're intelligent. Sometimes perfectionists, because they have such high standards. If you are a wood dragon, you could be considered pretty attractive, extremely attractive, either physically or energetically. So, I mean, sometimes you may not have conventionally, what they call conventionally beautiful, handsome looks, whatever that is. But there's something energetically about you where people are like, gosh, this person, I wouldn't normally be attracted to them, but dang, there's something about their energy. So you may get a lot of people who are attracted to you just based on your vibration. Wood dragons are successful. And generally, they're people who are in the spotlight, they're on stage, they trust their own judgment, they're pretty independent. So these wood dragons rarely are married. They're kind of like these lifelong bachelorettes, but they also could, if they do marry, get married really early, like to a high school sweetheart or, but they're typically, they like their independence. But good partners for a wood dragon are rats, monkeys, roosters, and snakes. So if you have a birth year in any of those years, you could possibly be a good partner for a wood dragon because they tend to like people who are out there, outgoing partners, really highly successful partners, ambitious partners. Some of the challenges of the wood dragon could be self-doubt, self-sabotage, not liking to be made a fool of. So, like their public perception is really important to them. But there's times when they could be really gullible and experience being made a fool out of. So it's kind of like, I think the challenges for the wood dragon is to take more time when it comes to investing in people, when it comes into investing in things, because you're going to give it your all as a wood dragon because you're really attracted towards success and you're really ambitious. But if you do make a decision, you kind of invest in the wrong person, the wrong company, wrong organization or project, it's just going to be one of those things where you have to kind of pull yourself through and just understand kind of like how that ego is sitting with that particular situation. I think collectively this year is going to be about evolution, about improving our abundance, our prosperity, or our connection to that. But also, this is going to be a year where we restore, where we rejuvenate, where we start to look at, if I'm going to start something new, how can I start it with a healthy foundation where I feel grounded in the projects I'll be working on, grounded in my success? I think collectively, we're going to be looking at systems changes, and you're going to see a real hard push for that. I personally am feeling like I'm getting channeled that is going to happen in the political arena. Like changes that really generations have not felt they could make. Something about this year is going to put something new out there. Either someone unexpected is going to run in political elections. That could be presidential to Senate to Congress. There's going to be some unexpected candidates running. And I think it's coming out of the whole energy that we need something new. We need something different. So you all, this is kind of a short little summary of the wood dragon energy. Please, if you are interested, I have a special gift for getting over 1,000 subscribers, is that I am going to be offering a guided imagery that will ask our Lunar New Year. It's going to be like a Lunar New Year ancestral message. And if you want to listen to that, the timestamp will be below. So thank you all. Please check the timestamps to go to your particular group, and I look forward to our readings together. Take care. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and you have chosen group number 1. So welcome, group number 1. You may have chosen this group from the artwork that's in the beginning of this reading, which is also time-stamped below in case you missed it. You may have chosen from this expression card that we are going to talk about, or you may have used numerology. Whatever you've used, group number 1, this is your reading. So expression, it says here, you are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. Group number 1, if you did miss the overview of the wood dragon, it is timestamped below in case you want to know more information on the year of the dragon. What I can say is this would be a year in which there is going to be a lot of evolutionary change, a lot of growth. We're going to see on the individual as well as the collective level, just growth in consciousness and expansion. People are going to start to make sense of how they're feeling and align that with the wisdom they need to move forward in life. So group number 1, these oracle cards, we're going to dive into it because we're going to answer some specific questions, but then we're also going to do a live tarot reading. And at the end of all of the groups, you're going to see a timestamp for a candle wax reading, which will be collective. So, group number 1, the opening message here, the blessing you are receiving from your wood dragon ancestors for this year, probably can go beyond this year, is that of expression. You are literally going to transform. I'm hearing this from your ancestors here. You are going to transform the way you experience life this year. Ooh, this fell over. Very interesting. Okay. You are going to, that candle fell over. I don't know if you all noticed that. So that's interesting to me already. It's saying something about you really needing to tap into fire energy this year. The wood dragon to me feels like fire energy, even though it says it's a wood dragon. Dragon is just, to me, naturally fire. So there is something about this wood dragon energy I think you need to know, group number 1. So if you did skip over that overview, there could be some special information in there. There's also a guided imagery, so that might too be something you're being directed to do. The guided imagery that I also attached to this reading. Basically, what I was going to say is you're going to see, group number 1, that your thoughts, the way that you think about life, the way that you are evolving, it's actually going to be, your ancestors saying, used as a model for people. I mean, quite literally, you're going to have people paying attention to your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs this year, group number 1. And you do not be surprised if people are like, I want to learn from you. If you work for yourself doing some kind of consulting, you may find an increase in consultations this year. People want to know what's on your mind, group number 1. And your ancestors are saying you also would benefit from being more expressive this year by saying what's on your mind, by letting people know authentically where you stand in certain issues. It's going to benefit you, especially if you're a person who didn't think that way before, that's kept a lot of things to yourself. You're being directed this year to break free of that, group number 1, and really start to communicate what's on your mind. Let's go to your energy for this year. We have the angel. We have the shapeshifter. And we have God. Interesting. Let me read them off. The God card, the light attributes of God, benevolence, compassion, recognizing the external forces within yourself and others. The shadow is cruelty, using power to control others. Shapeshifting, skills at navigating through different levels of consciousness, the ability to see the potential in everything. The shadow attribute would be projecting any kind of image that serves your personal agenda at the moment. Then we have angel, helping those in need with no expectation in return. The shadow attribute would be acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with the angelic guidance. So these are very powerful cards, group number 1. The angel, God, shapeshifter. It's interesting. I'm getting kind of like a direction to put it this way. You know what's interesting, group number 1? This year, I think you are going to encounter a lot of spiritual synchronicities. Meaning things, if you have been working in a clairaudient way with your guides, you're going to start to hear them louder, more instant. As things in your life are happening, group number 1, you're going to just be tapping into that spiritual stream. And really, there is the energy of God, your angel guides, guiding you to be what you need to be in certain situations. That's that shape-shifting energy, which is like, what does it say it does again? It's skilled at navigating the direction and levels of consciousness. You are going to find yourself this year in a lot of different communities, different conversations, maybe with people that you wouldn't normally say that you would be having conversations with, group number 1. You may even find that the commonalities that you're tapping into with others, especially people that you wouldn't readily think you have something in common with, have to do with God, have to do with spirit. Like, how are you relating to the metaphysical? It's going to interest people. You're going to find yourself with some really interesting conversations around belief, around practice even. And that's where that expression is coming in, group number 1, because I think you're going to be around a lot of new people, a lot of different situations and conditions. And your guides and your ancestors, especially your dragon ancestors, are saying you can't be skittish or doubtful. There's something about you walking into these situations and not being afraid of being who you are, your true authentic self, group number 1. Let's go to your next one here, which is a message from your future self. I'd like to include the future self, you all, because I really do feel like the future self is a powerful component of our spiritual work. The future self can come back and inform you of things that you need to know for this current moment. It's a magical practice that I really encourage in everyone. If you want me to do a special video on the future self and how to work with the future self, please comment below if that's of any interest to you. But your future self here, group number 1, is showing up as pentacles. Look at that. So the future self, when it comes to pentacles, this is in regarding to your body being a sacred vessel, the body being the temple. And regarding the body this way, having gratitude for how the body has been servicing you thus far in life. Even if there's things you experience as health challenges, you are being directed by your ancestors to really start to love up on your body. Think of your body as this sacred vessel and to be grateful for that body. And it's not only the physical, it's like the mind, body, soul unit, the mind, body, soul vessel. You're being directed to ask about that relationship more, to cultivate that relationship more, group number 1. Maybe something significant this year is requiring for you to have a better relationship with your mind, body, soul, spirit, basically the self. Let's go to the sacred feminine message. The sacred feminine ovulation. Very interesting. Some of you might be 20 years old or in your 20s, or the number 20 might mean something for you. Ovulation. This card is talking about how it's safe to be seen. Ovulation happens maybe one day of the month, but its impact, its reverberation is throughout the month. If you're in the body that has a womb, then you should know that ovulation just kind of impacts everything, right? And it fluctuates all its role. It fluctuates hormones throughout the body, creating all kinds of like feelings and sensations. And really, I think this card is talking about how sometimes, group number 1, you can seem like a really subtle energy, but people mistake that for meaning you're not doing anything, but you're actually doing a lot. And maybe there's some places in your life where the function you serve is to come in, do something, and leave. That might be the rhythm of some of your the work that some of you do. Let me know below if that's the case. But what it's really saying, group number 1, is that it's time for you to shine. It's time for others to realize how powerful your work actually is. It's time for you to be witnessed, especially when it comes to your whole self, not just what you do. There might be people in life who don't know the entire you. This will be a year where they're going to see your radiance. They're going to feel how embodied you are. Group number 1, the blessings that your dragon ancestors are giving you is how you show up to others. It's going to be a transition because people are going to start to see you through a leadership lens. And in that leadership lens, group number 1, is your uniqueness, is your wholeness. In fact, if you want a journal prompt for this particular card, it would be, what do I most desire to share about myself that I usually keep hidden from others? If you want me to repeat that prompt again, what do I most desire to share about myself that I usually keep hidden from others? Let's go to the masculine energy. Oh, well, the lion. You know, lion is, I think it's earth energy, but it's about that, royal, regal. The lion also here in this deck is said to be the master, your mastery. So it's that fire element as well, because you think of Leo, lion, fire. There's something earthly here too in its energy. I think the gift that your dragon ancestors want you to receive, especially when it comes to your masculine energy. We all have feminine and masculine energy, so you're just being directed on how to keep that balance. But for you, group number 1, it's going to be about recognizing this year, especially as you come more into your power. You are going to inspire some people and you are going to intimidate some people. And it's all about how you hold yourself, group number 1. You're being advised to not waste energy and resources in the wrong places, to be observant, to master yourself this year. There's some really big theme of self-acceptance in this group number 1. And you're going to find through your ancestors that this is also about supporting yourself, validating yourself when it comes to your talent and your skills. Let's go to the astrology. I'm just kind of pulling out all of these cards that are being pre-picked. You have Lilith. Okay, hold on. You've got Lilith, group number 1. If you don't know anything about Lilith, I did a Lilith pick a card reading, so that wasn't that long ago, and you can find it. I might see if I can do a link somewhere here, but that Lilith reading, very powerful. If you don't know about Lilith in astrology and in mythology, Lilith was Adam and Eve's first wife, and Lilith refused to submit to Adam. And there's something here about Lilith showing up in your reading, group number 1. Lilith is also, just by the way, symbolized by owls, the crescent moon, snakes, wands. Some of you could be Queen of Wands energy, maybe. Cats, multifaceted, misunderstood, because Lilith is wild. Lilith is your wild, untamed self. Lilith is the self that is going to stand up for yourself. You're going to stand up for yourself in Lilith energy. Even if you're facing all kinds of criticism, backlash, punishment, Lilith is that energy that says, but I'm still here. Lilith is that kind of defiance. Lilith doesn't back down. Lilith pushes forward. Okay, these things happened, but let's push forward. Sometimes, though, Lilith also can be signaling to you that there's more strength in walking away. Sometimes this lion wants to fight, wants to confront. Also, that Lilith energy wants to do that. But Lilith can also warn you of choosing your battles. Figuring out if it's a war or a battle. There's something there that your dragon ancestors are saying. For some of you, your temper. Just notice how to use that energy in a way that's very intentional this year. Light language. Soul mating. I love that. Soul mating, it's pointing to you meeting someone this year, group number 1. A soulmate, maybe, but I kind of like the verbing of this, soul mating, meaning this year, group number 1, I think you're going to meet someone new. Or if you're already in a current relationship, because I'm being told that too, it's going to deepen. And basically, I think this year you're going to understand with all of the internal work that you're doing, all of the self-acceptance, you're going to understand that when this person comes into your life, because I think it's going to feel different for you, group number one. This person comes into your life, you are starting to see a compliment. That's kind of what a soulmate is, isn't it? A better half, a compliment. You hear those phrases all the time, group number one. But this soulmate, or this person that you're currently with, because I see kind of half and half for some of you, if you are single and you're just meeting this person, there's going to be something about the mirroring energy that blows your mind. It's almost as if you both like the same things. You both can finish each other's sentences. There's something, and it's like early on, you all. So it can be something that teaches you, because this person is such a mirror, because you both could trigger each other and ignite each other in the same way, it's going to soften you. It's going to soften those hard edges, group number one. It's going to melt your walls. This person is going to have a real healing effect on your wounds. They're going to be like, you know what? You know how I healed that? And you're going to be like, did I ask you? I won't say that you have a total attitude with this person, but there will be a little of that kind of tension because you both mirror each other. So sometimes there's aspects of ourselves that are really hard to see. And when we see it in the other person, we're like, oh, I most definitely don't like this, but also it's part of your behavior, group number one. So there's going to be a little bit of that. If you're currently with this person, I feel as if you're going to just start to notice things because you're working on yourself, because you're so committed to being in the present moment and learning about yourself. You're going to start to see that the things that irritated you about that your partner does, it's like really just you. You have choices, group number one. And what's going to start to happen here too is that you're going to communicate differently with this partner. There's going to be deeper conversations you all have, new understandings, and that is going to strengthen the entire relationship. So lastly, how would you strengthen your magic this year? Your dragon ancestors are saying, campfire. You know what? It says, do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. Again, group number one, your dragon ancestors are saying the more that you allow people to know you, and they get to know you right through how you share. You share your feelings, your thoughts, your theories. This is a whole year for that, and I really am seeing this, group number one, as you drawing a crowd with your wisdom. Some of you, I really quite literally see that you're doing full moon talks. Let me know if that's something you do. I don't know why Spirit just said that to me. Some of you are going to be doing full moon talks. You're going to have people attending workshops, classes, seminars. I don't know why. I'm just seeing that it's in the full moon. It's like somewhere, maybe you want to schedule it around that time. I don't know. Don't take that as like full on advice. I'm just seeing that there's going to be an experience you have that opens up your community to you. They're really going to love you. They're going to love listening to you and your wisdom, group number one. Okay, let's choose a couple of cards. Any other final messages from your dragon ancestors? This was actually really powerful. 6 of Wands. Ooh, okay, that fell out. I think they fell out, so I'm gonna put them back. Okay. So you have 6 of Wands. Yeah, that victory, right? You have 5 of Wands. Very interesting. And you have 3 of Swords. Group number one, this will be a year of victory. And for some of you, there will be a balance on the other side of challenges. That's what I'm seeing. And that's what your ancestors are saying. This is very specific. But for some of you, your success, your prosperity, your abundance, it may come at the expense of having to clear out some relationships that don't work for you anymore. There are going to be, in this year especially, group number one, relationships that you outgrow. And for some of you specifically, there may be an intimate partnership that really cannot remain intact because you are changing so much. Your needs, your desires, they're changing a lot, group number one. And you will find that in some partnerships, you just can't sustain the growth. Sometimes this card is like, oh, someone's cheating, 3 of Swords, but, oftentimes it's just an energy that's in the relationship. Some of you are dealing with partners that really cannot grow with you. And what happens is that your ambition, your success, the things you're working on, it starts to be that third sword. And you start getting demands to pull back from your work. But I really get this year, group number one, you are going to be so dedicated to that work. You're going to be so excited and motivated to do that work that I just don't know if that relationship could pull you away from your desires and your ambition. Let's clarify. Yeah, you have the 6 of Cups in reverse under that 6 of Wands. Two of Wands in reverse under the 5 of Wands. And 10 of Cups. Yeah. You know what I see, group number one, is, again, someone's going to find it very hard to be happy for you when you have your wins. And I think your dragon ancestors are saying, instead of taking that to heart, like something's wrong with you, it's better for you to look at the relationship. 2 of Wands is like a choice in action. But I see you holding the world here. In some cards, the figure is looking at the world, like longing, looking. But you're holding it in your hand, group number one, as I have this. And I see that you are being illuminated by this work that you are doing. And all you could really see is a successful outcome. That 10 of Cups is saying, I deserve a partnership that can grow with this, that can grow with my feelings and evolution as a person. For some of you, if you're in a current partnership, it will end and you will meet someone new. I saw that new person. Where were they? Soul mating. You're going to meet someone new who I just think they can inspire you more, support you more, understand your growth. It's not everyone, take it where it resonates, but if you have a relationship that's kind of a little unstable or rocky, I'm hearing from your ancestors, don't hesitate in trying to shift things, because you have a new person coming in, group number one. And that's only for people who, in which that resonates. If you love your partner, things are going well, things are just going to deepen in this relationship. But for some of you, there's a point of change. I'm being told just to pull one more card. Yeah, Nine of Cups. It's going to be wish fulfillment for you, group number 1. This year will culminate in wish fulfillment. Things that you may have focused on at the beginning of this lunar year, next year you're going to see them all come in to fruition for you, group number 1. So make sure you write things down, record it, because you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, my life is so much more fulfilling now. And you're on that road, group number 1. So, hey, if you've resonated with anything that was said in this reading, could you give me a thumbs up? It really is a simple way to help me grow the channel. And if you like the way that I read, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Please click the bell so that you get notified when I do new readings. I try to do new readings once a week at the most, or at the least. I'll do more if I can. And please check out the guided imagery, the collective candle wax reading after this. And just let me know how it all went, honeys. I really, truly do wish you the best lunar new year with all its prosperity, all of its growth. Thank you, group number 1, for connecting. Take care. Hello, my honeys. I am Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and you have chosen group number 2 for Pick a Card, a blessing from your dragon ancestors. Happy Lunar New Year, you all. And this is a special reading. I want to thank you for joining me here to just get a sense of what this new lunar year has in store for you. And group number 2, the opening blessing from your dragon ancestors came in a 2-part. You got 2 cards. One is patience. And it says here for patience, you are able to let the universal energy of transformation move according to its own rhythm. I love that. And you also got virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes and encourage others to grow. I love that, group number 2. And if you missed some of the explanation of the wood dragon in the beginning of this reading, it's time-stamped below and you can go and read. But really, the overall energy of the wood dragon year is that of evolution, of growth. And I think collectively, at least what my guides are saying to me, group number 2, is that on the collective level, we are going to experience so much consciousness growth on the earth in this year. There's just going to be things that people are going to start to realize is more helpful for their understanding of life than it has ever been over the years. I don't care what age they are. There's this kind of clarity that comes with this wood dragon year. So the blessings that your dragon ancestors are giving you is a reminder of being patient, but also sticking to that virtue. I don't know why virtual came forward. Virtue that and it could come with enhancing the virtue. And I'm sorry, I'm receiving kind of like a download here as I'm talking. There's something here about your ancestors wanting you to work on that virtue, not necessarily in increasing it, but more of sharing it with others. but also being patient. There's something here about those two energies. It's almost as if there could be some sense of feeling frustrated with some of the things you have to do, group number 2. And there's that patient component. Like, not everyone may get everything you're trying to put out, but to regard that with an energy of patience. I think I finally got what your ancestors wanted me to say. Yeah, it goes that way, group number 2. So what is the energy that you will be in this new lunar year? You have the Queen, the Saboteur, and the Damsel. The Queen energy, right? Radiates regal feminine, uses her benevolent in authority to protect others. Now, the shadow attribute, which I'm told to read for all of them, is to become arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. See, I think that is a little bit about what your ancestors were speaking to in this first blessing, is to understand your leadership is unquestioned. But when it does happen to kind of get a ding, or if people want to make a suggestion, they're saying to exercise more patience here, group number 2, that there is some benefit for you being more patient this year. Maybe we'll find out more about that as we go along with the cards. So there's that Queen energy. Then you have Saboteur. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring into your life. The shadow attribute is induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. You know, group number 2, I think that your ancestors are saying here that this may be a year. They're wanting me to read Damsel, and then they want to say what they want to say. Damsel, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. The shadow attribute is waiting for a knight in shining armor for you in terms of romance. So if this is about relationships, which I'm glad I read that. I don't know why they're pointing to the hearts on this too. Group number 2, your ancestors are saying you're a queen. I mean, regardless of gender. You're in queen energy, meaning you're in your most royal energy. Queens are usually known for have a bit of a nurturing kind of side to them as well. So you're in this queen energy, but they are also saying this energy didn't come just overnight, group number 2. It's been something that you have been working on in yourself, growing your virtue, understanding where you stand and navigate in this world. You've had to work through a lot of self-sabotaging behavior. You really have. And even to the point of relying on partners that couldn't support you, that couldn't be there for you. And so now your ancestors are pointing to you and saying, it's time for you, because some of you have given up on relationships and love because you really had to go into this queen energy and kind of rule your queendom on your own. But your ancestors are saying here that you are about ready to be seen as this most virtuous person by someone. But they also want you to be patient as this whole thing comes into fruition. I'm being told to move with the next card. which is a message from your future self. Your future self gave you the message of Fae-born. So interesting. Because when you're Fae-born, this card is talking about how within your ancestry, there is this connection to the earth, to nature, to lightness, to joy, to happiness. And your ancestors are saying here that instead of focusing on past relationship hurdles, they want you to shift over into the essence of who you are, group number 2. You're someone who likes dancing in the rain, I hear, or the smell of the earth when you go out into the trees, or the smell of the ocean, salt water. You are being directed by your ancestors, group number 2, to throw off the cloak of difficulty, of why you can't trust people, and really start to go within and find your happiness, find your rhythm, listen to music that you love, play, spend time in nature, let yourself be free. Really dive into that Fae ancestral energy, because they're saying here that that is going to bring forward, group number 2, I think, your next relationship. Let's go into your feminine cycle. So the feminine cycle for this year is conception. Someone might be the age 27. 27 may be a pertinent number in someone's life. It could be the day that you were born. It could be 7, 8, 9. 9, because we're going to add 2 and 7, comes to 9. It could also mean a kind of wish fulfillment is happening this year. Conception is I am open to inspiration. It's the card of your creative life starting up, your nurturing life starting up. I don't know why I feel this, but it's almost like that queen energy, you all. It's saying to me that this is somewhat of a new energy for you, group number 2, that maybe in the last couple of years you've really grown. And that conception card is starting to, your ancestors are starting to say, you are going to conceive something new this year. You are going to conceive, I think for some of you, this could be literal. You may conceive this year, if that's what you want. For others of you, you will conceive of a new project, a new opportunity for yourself, maybe even a new relationship. I don't want to lose that energy. Some of you are going to even conceive of a new partnership. Let's go to the male energy. The male energy is the otter. Now, the otter as a male energy that you will be kind of working with this year, group number 2, it's about joy again. This is so interesting. You know what I'm getting? Because I'm starting to hear your ancestors say, it's not so much that you weren't in joy in these last few years, but I kind of get the sense that since you all are in queen energy, and again, it's not a gender, it's about like your leadership. It's about like working to that place where you get on your throne. I think there was a lot of work involved, group number 2. So much work that you may have like skipped out on the fun of all of this. And your ancestors are pointing to you that there's going to be something lighthearted, something jovial that they want you to participate in. They want you to play. It's so interesting that Fae-born and otter is really pointing to your happiness, the agelessness of happiness. If some of you are older, there's a way in which you've forgotten to play. And your ancestors, your dragon ancestors are like, in this play, you're going to reap really wonderful things. For some of you, I'm not going to miss out. That conception could also be speaking to an inner child journey of healing. Because whenever I see that joy coming out, that happiness coming out with the queen is about responsibility, right? But there's something here where your ancestors, group number 2, are saying it's also about you being finally in a place where you could just let go. You could release. You can actually have fun. You can actually spend the money on things that you like, you love, you want, you desire. Like there's some reminder here that life is not all work, group number 2. So let's go to the astrology that you will find probably the most powerful of this year, like powerful astrology points. Last quarter moon. So that last quarter moon is about releasing, letting go. There are situations, maybe conditions, that you need to allow to have a full cycle in your life, group number 2. The moon is cyclical. And what this last quarter moon is talking about is that birth, death, rebirth kind of cycle. Right now, when the moon is kind of in that last quarter, it's half on the light, half on the dark, right? It's about releasing anything that's blocking your potential and making a note also of what works. So in a way, your ancestors are pointing to you starting to create a strategy for life, one where you are the most successful, that you're thriving, group number 2. And that's what the queen will do. The queen will assess the queendom and make changes so that she is always on top. Always, and there was a little confirmation there, always winning. But you can only do that if you're constantly doing some assessment, making adjustments. I think that's what your ancestors are saying. Not only to get to this queendom, but to stay there and be comfortable there and be grounded there. Your light language card. How's the light language? Grounding. I just said grounding, you all. Again, there's something about you being able to anchor to the earth and always feel at home in your new position of the queen. And to understand that circumstances can affect your energy. If you've been feeling disconnected lately, if you've been feeling scattered or overwhelmed or forgetful, there's kind of like this trick that I do in psychology where you can imagine a stop sign. Especially when you're overwhelmed, imagine a stop sign, like the red and white one. Imagine it in your mind and inwardly say, stop. And there's something in that little imaginal exercise, if you take a deep breath too, brings you right back to the present moment. And it's there that you can start to recalibrate, where you can be calm and centered and ready to conserve your energy because great things are coming towards you, group number 2. I don't only see a new relationship if that's what you want. I see someone finally just embodying queen energy and feeling good about it, not feeling threatened, not feeling like it's temporary or unsustainable. Like this is your true self. This is the self that will stay into the end of this life, group number 2. So if you were going to need to strengthen your magic this year, what would it be? What would you have to do? Your ancestors are saying, be the scarecrow. They're actually saying that you need to remember you're not alone. To remember that this is not just a one-person journey. That friends, family, community, you don't have to do it all on your own. And that this work is just not only work, it's fun, it's joy, it's being in your community. I mean, the scarecrow in some ways is kind of a little bit of a trickster energy, right? Because you're presenting yourself as this whole really regal queen, but really beside you are people that you rely on, people who help you with your power, people who help you be successful. Let's get any final messages that you may have. Group number 2, putting on my glasses here. And let's see if there's any final messages that your ancestors have for you. You have the Knight of Pentacles. I was wondering when that potential partner energy would come through. You have the Ten of Cups. I'm being told to take that upright. And you have the Two of Wands. I'm being told to take that upright. Yeah. Whatever relationship is coming towards you, group number 2, this is someone who, Knight of Pentacles can be a slower moving energy, but it's coming with all the goods. It's coming with all the resources. I like the Knight of Pentacles energy because this is someone who doesn't get distracted. If they have you as a goal of a relationship, they're going to stay the course. They're going to be there with you and grow with you, because that growth is going to turn into a Ten of Cups. Trust me, group number 2. This is someone who's going to build with you. And I wouldn't be surprised later if this knight is actually a king or an emperor. It's just that the knight energy is where they're coming in, because I feel like this person initially feels like they can learn something from you. They may not even see themselves on the same level as you, group number 2. Regardless of gender, this person may think, oh, I have so much to learn. I don't know if this queen will want me as a partner. But this person, actually, I think they are more than a knight. But they are coming in and introducing themselves at that energy level. Let's ask why. Why is it a knight? Because I'm really getting that they're not full on a knight. Who is this person's spirit? The Lovers. Yeah. I think the Lovers here. I think this person, it's a strategy because they just, I don't think they want to come in an ego game. That's what I'm hearing. Like coming in, kings and emperors, they can kind of like exude this kind of like real egoic energy. And I think this person is really trying to not be in that energy, but they definitely want to be a lover. Group number 2. Let's clarify. Anything else? Let's clarify this Two of Wands. What's this Two of Wands? Shadow work. Yeah, this is going to be one of those relationships where the person really is excited to be with you. There's so much they're inspired by. I think you're going to have someone who really likes you on the other end, you all, group number 2. I think there's going to be some things about this new relationship that you wonder if you're prepared for. The shadow work is pointing to you doing some healing. Your ancestors are saying, yeah, you're going to receive the gift of this relationship, but in it could be a need for you to heal some things that you're going to start to see come up to your consciousness. You're going to start to see, oh, I still think this way, or I still have a hard time trusting, or whatever. So there's going to be a little work involved. One more final card, Spirit. Yeah, they're just saying have the strength. Look at that. You have, hold on. Is this the card? Is this the group? Oh no, that's the group with the otter. There's just so much here about you receiving all the gifts this year, group number 2, of your growth. And it's going to be because you're strong. You're just going to be confident. I think even if you have that shadow work to do, you're not going to let it discourage you. And that might be something that your guides are saying too. Don't let it discourage you. You are absolutely. You see how this figure, she doesn't even have to hold the lion's jaws open as you traditionally see it. The lion is tamed. The lion is there, and the queen is just like doing her own thing. She's in her own energy. And again, no gender implied, just you're in your own energy. And I think that is what your ancestors are pointing to, is that there's so much of this you've already done and conquered in your life. It's now these little rewards and gifts that you're getting from the universe, group number 2. So if you resonated with any part of this reading, could you give me a thumbs up? It's a simple way to support this brand new channel, and I really am appreciative of allowing me to read for you. If you like the way that I read, please consider subscribing. And if you click that bell, it allows you to know when I upload new readings, which is usually about once a week. If this is where we part, group number 2, very powerful year ahead of you, and I'm really excited for your new relationship. Please comment below, and I'd love reading all of your comments. And take care, group number 2. Hello, group number 3. How are you? My name is Kamara, and this is the Black Dove Oracle. This is a pick a card on the new lunar year. Happy new lunar year. And we are getting a blessing from your dragon ancestors. Okay, group number 3. The first blessing is of kindness. You may have chosen this group from the artwork in the beginning of the video. You may have chosen this card or some other way of choosing this group. But group number 3, this is your reading. So the first blessing, kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. Your first blessing from your dragon ancestors is that of kindness. I don't get so much that this is talking about you. I do believe you are a kind person, group number 3. But I actually feel like you are going to be receiving more of this in this year. More kindness. More compassion in your relationships. Maybe even more softness, I'm hearing. I think that is about how you are finally going to see the benefit of being your most kind, loving self, is starting to teach others. That's how we all should be operating around each other. That's how we all should be treating each other. There's a little bit of a model here. That was in group number 1 too. Modeling behavior. We talk about that a lot in psychology. Modeling behavior. Do unto others as they want them to do unto you, right? What's your energy of your character that will be, what characteristics are you going to be in? The Hermit, interesting. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. The shadow attribute is withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. Hermit. You've got the Scribe, preserving knowledge and information. The shadow attribute, altering facts and plagiarizing other work. Then you have the detective. Great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. The shadow attribute, voyeurism, falsifying information. Interesting, there's 2 cards that speak about falsifying information, plagiarism even. And then we have the Hermit. Solitude. Then we have kindness. I think there's something here. Group number 3. So far, what your ancestors are pointing out is that you may have withdrawn a little bit this year, or you may be coming out of an hermit mode. Something has either sent you into kind of yourself lately, or something is bringing you out. That could be the nature of this group. But if you are in a situation where you've kind of gone within, it may have something to do around your writing, about you putting something out there, preserving knowledge and disseminating it. I also think you may be in an editing process to make sure that your words are yours. There's some, if you know anything about, publishing things, you have to do this kind of plagiarism and they call it editing, basically. Make sure things are cited, things like that. So some of you might be an academic. You might be writing about something for your field. If you're not a teacher or an academic, you might be just finishing a dissertation. You may be finishing writing an article for work, a white paper. Whatever you're doing, there's something about that being in the energy that your ancestors are pointing out. I'm going to leave that here. There's something about this story that's a little incomplete, but your ancestors are pointing out that there will be some kind of writing that you're going to be doing this year, or you are finishing it up, or you are going to go within and start writing. All right, we're going to see. Let's go to your future self. Maybe your future self is going to connect this. A light. A light. Hopefully that's okay for YouTube. I didn't cover that. A light is time for your voice to be heard. It's saying here, group number 3, that it's time for your voice to be heard. So maybe you're going to be writing something. You may be writing about something that you've researched, something that you are very passionate about researching. And this light, your future self is saying here that it doesn't matter how far your voice reaches, it's more about how deep it is. Okay, I'm starting to get this now. Not that I was confused, group number 3, but I was feeling like there was an incomplete thing that I wasn't seeing. Your ancestors are saying here that there is something you're going to create, most likely write, that has to do with something you're very passionate about, but they're also warning you, go deep, do the research. Don't leave any stone unturned. You know how sometimes we're just like, we're done with the project. We're like, let me just wrap it up. But there's a way in which you're being warned here that there's something deeper. They want you to not worry about how soon you can get something out, but they want you to do it in a way that is so quality that is what attracts people to the writing. That's what attracts people to read it, is the quality of it, the thoroughness of it. You are being told with this a light card that only what you have to say needs to be said. This is deep, group number 3. No one else can say what you're about ready to say. No one else can write what you're ready to write. You have done a lot of the legwork, and Spirit is saying here, don't leave that legwork out. Sometimes we think, certain things we shouldn't mention, it might rock the boat or whatever. I don't know. I'm hearing that there's some information you may have left out, thinking it was too radical, thinking it was, I don't know what the subject matter is of what you're writing, but there could have been something you left out that they're saying, no, include. You're the only one who can communicate this. You may have left something out because you thought someone else already wrote about this, or somebody already did this, and your guides are saying, no, you're the one to say this, the way you have to say it even. Let's go to your feminine energy. Oh, the willow tree. Being told to put it there. The willow tree, I love these trees. They have like all of this, like, I don't know what you call it. It's leaves or fur hanging off the branches, and they seem kind of weepy. And this card, it's talking about making room for your emotional experiences. They're saying that the willow evokes watery emotion. There is something, I don't know, the willow tree is kind of sad. I don't know if sad is the word. It's got a particular emotion to it. It's also a tree, though, that's so hardy that people will take refuge under it. It's a tree that you can kind of run under if it's raining outside, because so much of the rain will it'll protect you from the rain. There's something about this tree that your ancestors are saying is symbolizing the space to process your emotions. And there's that kindness again. Let's go to the mouth card. The bat. I'm still here with the process of your emotions. You know, the energy of this group number 3, it's almost as if your story this year is very piece by piece. And at the end of the year, you're going to see it all as a whole picture. I'm getting that because that's kind of how the reading's going, piece by piece. But as I lay down other things, I'm seeing a bigger, larger piece of the picture. The bat is the masculine energy you might be in. The bat deals with darkness, the unknown, also about letting go. It's also themes around rebirth. And I think here this new year is talking about what is bringing in prosperity for you and what actually just needs to leave your life. Because the bat here could symbolize new chapters, new endings, beginnings, closings of doors while other ones are opening. I think it's that energy of, like, with both of these, the masculine and feminine energy is about making sure you have emotional support this year. I think that's that kindness again. Making sure there's people in your life who support you. They have your back, but they also can listen to you in various moods. They can support you. There's something here about making sure that even though you're going to be speaking out, you're going to be writing these things. I get things that are very evocative, maybe. You're going to need your supporters. You're going to need someone saying, no, you needed to say that. No, you don't need to back up here. These people need to meet you where you're at. You know, like, you need a voice like that in your life. Someone who's really got your back. I think it's coming in as like supporters that are in their masculine and feminine energy. There's something there about that energy. Let's keep going. The astrology. Third house. Okay, the third house is ruled by Gemini, you all, and Mercury. It's an air sign. It's also a social house. Who you know? Who do you communicate with? It could also indicate short trips. But it could go to like kind of Mercury, what is that term? Mercurian energy? You know, like when Mercury's in retrograde, oh my goodness, things are falling apart, breaking down. Email snafus. So that third house, I don't know why your ancestors are pointing to this. Like there could be this year just some things that you're going to have to clean up. You're going to have to correct. There's going to be, and again, I think that's where that scribe and detective are coming in. You see, you all, I think I should just lay out all your cards because I could just see it rather than card by card. But what I am seeing with this third house is right there, Spirit is saying, just lay it over the scribe and the detective. There's going to be information that you run across group number 3 in your project, in your writing project, or whatever you're doing. You need to make sure it's accurate. You need to make sure that you're citing the right person even. There may be information you run across, and I'm kind of getting this is very specific, but I'm just going to say it. You may think that someone said, you may quote someone as saying something, and it turns out to be another person. That's just for someone. Okay, what's the light language? Sensitivity. You know, the sensitivity card, it speaks to heightened compassion and kindness. There you go again. Heightened intuition. It's about you being sensitive to the energies that are around you as well. And so, again, group number 3, I think that sensitivity can come in as a strength for you because you are going to need to be in contact of the energy that you're working in. This could point to a time to trust your heart, to be clear, to be intentional with those around you, and stop hiding behind words that aren't yours. And it also could just signal that it's time for you to move on. I don't know why that move on is coming out right here. I was getting this earlier, and I'm just going to say it. It could be very specific. Some of you had some work stolen from you. Something was stolen, a thought, an idea. It could be anything, marketing, a paper, research. Whatever it was, it may have sent you within. It may have put you in a place where you don't trust people. But this kindness is saying that you've got to come out of that wounded place. This is what your ancestors are saying. You got to come out of that wounded place. They keep pointing to a light. You've got to come out of that wound, and you've got to open up to your community again. You've got to start sharing things again, group number 3, because your work is important. What you have to say is important. Yes, there was a lot of sensitivities around people who were not respectful of your work, but your work is the thing that your ancestors are saying needs to come out, needs to be shared, needs to be moved forward. And in many ways, you're going to have to utilize that feminine and masculine energy to manage your emotions around what has happened in the past, but also to allow for yourself to start anew, to put new things out, to move forward. And for some of you, this is about putting new material out. You don't want it to be stolen like the last time, right? But I'm hearing this stuff you're writing. It's potent for a world that needs to change. It's potent work that can't be locked up in a cabinet. It has to be put out, group number 3. So if that's specific, but if that's for you, it's for you. Last question, we're here. How can you strengthen your magic in this dragon year? Cacao. I love cacao, by the way, ceremonial cacao even. But it says here, you are loved. You are held. You already have everything that you seek. For some of you, this has been a long road to prove you know your stuff. You may be in a profession where you have to put your nose to the grindstone, what are all those sayings? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, all those things. And here it is. Your ancestors are saying, you already know it. You're already good at it. The reason why somebody stole your stuff the last time, if that was the case, because you're already good. You're the very best. And you got to start thinking that way. Some of you may be called to do a cacao ceremony if you haven't done one before. Some of you may be doing these kind of ceremonies. You see how there's an owl on the person's shoulder. You may be doing mystical ceremonies. I'm just looking out the window. Some of you may be doing workshops at your home. You may be starting to do things. I don't know why, I'm just intuitively feeling that. Some of you may just be starting to do small gatherings, teach people based on the research that you have done. And yeah, you will worry, you will wonder, is it time to put out this information? Will people steal it? How do I secure it? It will be a little bit in the writing and publishing it and copywriting it, but it also is just going to be that thing I heard your ancestors say. You have something to say and only you can say it. They don't care how many people copy, regurgitate anything you say. They won't be able to say it in the energy, group number 3, that you can. You've done all the research. You are the expert. You are the master of this information. And it needs to be disseminated. And I think your ancestors are just saying, don't let anything stop you, especially the past. So, my group number 3. Let's go to some tarot readings. I almost forgot to pull a few cards for you. Let's go. Any other final messages for group number 3? Page of Pentacles. I'm told to take it in reverse. Ooh. We have 6 of Wands. And we have the Sun. I love this. For some of you, there could have been a little bit of something around having the material resources to continue with your project. Don't worry about that. A victory is happening for you. Either someone's going to come in and grant you some money, you're going to find a way to some money or resources that you need. Sometimes money and resources, they aren't interchangeable in the sense of sometimes when we're seeking prosperity, we can ask for the resource. We don't necessarily always need the money, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It's instead of asking for $500 to pay a researcher to come in and document this, why don't you just ask for the researcher and see how they come? That's an old prosperity trick. Don't get caught up in the money that costs. Just manifest the researcher. You know what I'm saying? As the example. The Sun. It's all going to work out in your favor, group number 3. This new unwavering commitment to the work that you're doing, it's going to put you in the sun. It's going to make you visible. It's going to make you highly successful. And I think overall, if I got the whole total message, your ancestors are saying, don't let someone's greed from the past or some kind of greedy action, condition, situation from the past stop you from doing something that you're fully dedicated and prepared and mastered to put out there. Don't hesitate to put it out there. This is your time. This is your success. Group number 3. I love that. I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck and it's the Hermit again. Some of you may need to go within and finish what you're doing. Others of you, I'm being told, get out of your house, your office, your research pod and start sharing with people your actual genius, because you have it here, group number 3. I'm so excited for you, group number 3. I feel very honored that I got a chance to see this unfolding in the reading. It was some readings you just kind of see it right away, but this time your ancestors were like, nope, it's like a little blossom. It's just petal by petal. It's coming into fruition and understanding. And I love that for you. I think that's how your year is going to go. You'll probably look at it at things that are happening in this month and say, okay, but you won't be able to see what it's happening in August until August arrives. So group number 3, if you resonate with any or of this reading, can you please give me a thumbs up? If you like the way that I read, would you consider subscribing to this channel, clicking the bell so that you get notified when I upload new readings, which is once a week? If this is where we part, group number 3, thank you so much for letting me into your world and reading for you. If you have any comments below on anything that stuck out for you, I would love to read those. I read all of my comments. I try to respond to all of them. If I don't respond to you right away, it's just because I didn't see it, but I usually go back and follow up. I really appreciate you all and all of your support of this new channel. Here's a few things, group number 3, before you click off. There's going to be a guided imagery after this, and there's also going to be a collective wax reading. So happy Lunar New Year. I hope that this reading was helpful. Take care, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. Welcome to the little bonus readings that I have to celebrate my 1,000 subscribers. I have a little bit more than that, and I'm so grateful, you all. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, in case you're just clicking on this part. So we are going to do something that I really love to do, which is candle wax readings. It's going to be a collective one, so in this particular kind of reading, you really only take what resonates, because it's probably not going to tell a whole story for the whole entire collective, but there may be things that you absolutely resonate with from this reading. What I like to do with this reading too is I have this beautiful crystal. It reminds me of a seed of life, which is why I got it. So, we're going to use this little bowl. We're going to pour in some copper-infused water from my little copper-infused water container. There we go. And then I have this little flame from our reading that's getting ready to go out. I love connecting the flames. So this little flame was ready to go out from all of our pick-a-card readings. And we're going to start it with this candle. We're going to just see what comes forward for our reading. Okay. And we're just letting the candle wax drop. Let's see what I see. It's interesting. I see a few communities coming together. And it's going to be instrumental. These people are coming together, but they have some organizers bringing them together. Yeah, quite a few different communities, even stakeholder groups coming together. And there's about, let me see if I can see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 organizers, 6 activists, 6 stakeholders, organizations bringing communities together. There will be one big speaker, somebody well known, someone who's kind of like really well known, that's going to bring these communities together. There may be one community that has some barriers to meeting with everyone else. They have people trying to work with them to make the meeting possible, to include them. I think it's going to require more than one person to coordinate this group. I don't know, I'm hearing from Spirit they might live far away. They may have less access to money, travel, something. Someone feels on the outside of this whole thing. Oh, but interesting. There was somebody, that previous group I talked about, that had trouble coming into the fold here. They actually had someone who felt on the outside, someone who wasn't included, someone who hadn't been discussed. Maybe there wasn't a discussion with this person. They do come into the fold, and I see that this group is able to meet with everyone else. Anything else, Spirit? It's going to be an important meeting of collective communities, you all. This important meeting of different constituents, I'm hearing, it's bringing together, this could be anything, you all, from global communities coming together to global powers coming together. There is a huge meeting that's coming together, and it's going to include people that have normally been not at the table. Oh, wow. It's coming together, you all, and it's going to be huge this year. There is something that is going to result in some kind of global governance, I'm hearing. I'm seeing. There will be communities that come. I may have to put this down soon, you all. Ooh. There may be communities who want to be involved who are not invited, but they're going to come anyway. That's what I'm seeing. Let me see if I can get anything from the wax, you all. It's going to be a real heavy discussion. So it's about something important. But communities from around, so say this is a place where there's just a lot of different communities. People are going to hear about this and they are going to come. long, far, and wide. People with resources, people without resources. There's a particular group here that wants to be a part of this. Maybe they weren't invited, but they end up coming in. Another group end up bringing them in. There will still be some groups that, don't make it. What I kind of feel about this, whoever's coordinating this huge meeting, there will be some challenges with getting everyone there. Everyone who wants to sit at the table to sit at the table. But when it happens, it's together, you all. There's no outliers. Quite literally, this is what Spirit is showing me. Let me see if I see anything else. And I can show it to you too, in case you see something. If the topic centers around a particular community and their experiences, this community has a heavy weight on them, a weight that hasn't been experienced by other communities. But these communities are showing up in support of this particular group of people. There will be ruptures, there will be fractures within that gathering. Some people will leave, some people will stay but feel a little disenfranchised. All I could say is that the dragon ancestors are pointing to a huge gathering in which there will be intense work done to assist a community that needs assistance. But for some reason, this gathering is being pulled together. There's a sense really of a collective one of coming together around a particular issue. Spirit is showing me that this may mirror smaller or larger events in the 2024. There could be global meetings that happen. There could be small community meetings that happen. This could happen at the country level, the state, province level, or quite literally the city, village level. This could even happen in the entertainment level. Musicians, artists getting together. This will be a year of gatherings, of community solutions, community resolutions. And all the gatherings will draw people from far away to one central place, my collective. So this is the candle wax reading. It's showing me that a meeting, a very important one, gathering will happen in 2024 that either you will be aware of or you will participate in. So, my honeys, that is a small collective candle wax reading. I hope that it was helpful. Take note of it and let me know. Come back and let me know if you experienced something like that in 2024. And if this is where we leave each other, thank you so much, my collective, for all your support and the over 1,000 subscribers. If you want more candle wax readings, let me know. I can do more of those. I have all kinds of different kinds of readings we'll be exploring with. Okay, my honeys, take care. is a special gift for my soul family, which I regard you all as my new subscribers. And if you're new here, welcome. So, in preparation for the guided imagery, we are going to connect with the Lunar New Year ancestors and see what message they have for us. In order to prepare for this guided imagery, here are some suggestions. To get comfortable in a seat or on the couch or bed, wherever you are, you can either lay down or you can sit up. If you do sit up in a chair, just kind of sit up in a way that feels like your spine is straight, but you can relax the body too, so it doesn't have to be super stiff. If you are laying down, I would suggest just laying down, hands uncrossed, feet uncrossed. Allow yourself, if you have like a little blindfold, to put the blindfold on, but you could just simply close your eyes. You may want to do this in a quiet and private place so that you can concentrate on the words that I'm saying and get your own visualizations and feelings. I wouldn't recommend listening to music or having your phone off. I would turn your phone off or on vibrate. And again, just giving yourself, this may take anywhere from like 10 minutes at the most, 15. What I do recommend after the guided imagery is for you to take a pen and paper and journal about your experiences, jot down any symbols, any words, anything that comes to mind that happened during that guided imagery. And if you journal about it, it's going to do something, what we call making it real, which is just allowing for your consciousness to align with the synchronicities that you may experience after this guided imagery. So don't be surprised if you get if you have dreams that are more intense, or if you're just experiencing things in your waking life that have been reinforced by what you experience in this guided imagery. At any time, you have complete control to just sit up and not participate in the guided imagery. So if something happens to you during that time, or you just feel activated in a certain way, just sit up and turn off the recording or turn off the video and just take care of yourself. Maybe go for a walk or talk to someone who's close to you, or just kind of write down or journal like where you were feeling some discomfort. Okay, so take a moment and close your eyes. I'm going to guide you in just taking a few deep breaths. First, bring your awareness to your natural breath as it goes in and out of the body. That natural inhale, the natural exhale. And on the next inhale, see if you can observe where that breath is happening the most in your body. For some people, it might be in the belly. For other people, it might be in the chest. For others, it might be around the neck or the shoulders. And for others, it might be around the mouth or the nose. Wherever you feel the breath going in and out of your body the most, I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to that place. And just notice the natural inhale, the natural exhale, allowing your body to deeply relax, allowing your shoulders to relax and drop down, allowing your jaw to relax and loosen, allowing your eyeballs to fall back into the eye sockets. Just relaxing, going deeper, allowing yourself to relax completely. As you breathe in, hold the breath for just a few seconds and release. Do this for 2 more cycles. Inhale, hold the breath for a few seconds, and release. Inhale, hold the breath for a few seconds, and release. As you breathe in, imagine a gentle, soothing light filling your body with warmth and calmness. As you exhale, release any tension or worries, letting them dissipate into the ethers. Now visualize yourself standing at the threshold of a magnificent temple, surrounded by ancient trees and fragrant blossoms. You feel a sense of reverence and anticipation as you step forward, guided by the soft glow of lanterns lighting your path. As you enter the temple, you are enveloped in a serene atmosphere, filled with the faint sense of incense and the distant sound of chanting. You feel a connection to the spirits of your ancestors, whose presence surround you like a comforting embrace. In the center of the temple, there is a shimmering pool of water, reflecting the soft glow of the moon above. Approach the pool and gaze into its depths, allowing your mind to become still and receptive. As you peer into the water, you begin to see images and symbols forming on its surface, swirling and shifting like clouds in the sky. These are the messages of your ancestors, encoded in the language of dreams, light, and intuition. Now ask the spirits of your ancestors to reveal to you a message or an image that will guide you in the coming year. Trust that they will communicate with you in a way that is meaningful and profound. Some people will receive an image, others a word, a sound, others a smell, or a light or a color. So your connection can be anything. As you continue to gaze into the pool, you feel a sense of peace and clarity watching over you. Allow yourself to be fully present in this moment, open to receiving whatever wisdom or insight the spirits have to offer. Take a moment in this time to communicate with your ancestors. And when you are ready, slowly begin to withdraw from the temple, carrying with you the guidance and the blessings of your ancestors. Know that their love and support will always be with you, guiding you on your journey through life. And before you open your eyes, there is a secret message from your ancestors. In the next 24 to 48 hours, you will dream of a majestic phoenix soaring through the night sky. Its brilliant plumage shimmering with iridescent colors and beautiful red flames. As you watch in awe, the phoenix will descend and whisper a secret message into your ear, filling you with a sense of purpose and renewal. Remember this message upon waking, for it holds the key to unlocking your fullest potential in the year of the wood dragon. So now take a moment. Make small movements of your fingers, small movements of your toes, and you may want to do a gentle stretch. Lastly, when you are ready, open your eyes and take a moment to journal all of the messages, the images, anything sensory you experienced for your further information for this new lunar year. Thank you so much, my honeys, for your support. Please comment below if this was helpful in any way. Many blessings to you in your new year. Take care.